Good day, brothers and sisters. Today, I just want to say thank you to Cecilia for inviting me to share my testimony with you. Today, I just want to give God all the glory and honor. 2 years ago, on the 19th of May, 2018, my son was badly assaulted by 4 young men. That day was such a beautiful day. He spent the afternoon with our bishop because he was one of the candidates who was supposed to get the sacrament of confirmation. And that evening, his friend was there with him at home. And just before he wanted to take his friend home, I just had a feeling that we should pray so that they have a safe return. And for some reason, Pastor just cut off the death and speak life over them. That evening, my son came home badly beaten up. His face was swollen and he said he cannot remember. He was 4 young men wanted to take his bicycle and his guitar and they knocked him out and a young girl came to his rescue. I was devastated the way that child looked like. I just grabbed everything and we just took off to the emergencies. At the hospital, they diagnosed him with concussion and we just prayed and as a mother, I was just crying and I just talked to God and I said to God, you know you've got something beautiful planned for this young man. If it's in your will that he does not have to receive the sacrament of confirmation tomorrow, then it is fine. And that night, he spent almost the whole night there. And 3 o'clock in the morning, doctor said, he's going to discharge him. And we went home. We only had 2 hours of sleep that night because the next morning, 6:30, we had to leave because the church started 7:30 and it's a long drive to the church where he must receive his confirmation. That morning, 5:30, I had to make the call. I looked at him and his face was still swollen. And I said to his teacher that what happened and it doesn't look good. And he said to me that I will have to make a choice. And then I talked to God again and God said he's going to receive that sacrament today. My son got up and he got himself ready and we went to the church so that he could get his sacrament. Amazingly, his sponsor had to do what my son was supposed to do. He went there with sunglasses and we could put makeup on his face. But in his heart, that day was a very special day because he spoke from his heart that day. And they said, you don't have to say anything. But the words he said there that day, he said this had to happen. And today I am really receiving the Holy Spirit. I can feel God's presence. And that was so inspiring. And I can only thank God for saving my son. And there was another occasion on the 31st of July this year. My son was selling popcorn. He went to deliver it. And as he went by the graveyard, past the graveyard, 2 guys approached him. He was taking a break. He went to visit a friend of his who also passed away last year. He was in matric. And 2 young men approached him. And they took his bicycle, his backpack, his phone, and his shoes. And they held him hostage with a knife against his throat. And my son said, it's only by the grace of God. He decided to run. He said he was just running for his life. And that same afternoon, while he was out, again I had that feeling I have to pray for him for a safe return. And I can only say thank you to God for saving my son because it could have been so different. Again that afternoon, I spoke life over him. The things they took, it does not matter, but my son came back. Twice did God save him, and God will come through for us